supporters, or at the very least tolerated this kind of behavior, was due to multiple factors. The first one was the confirmed reports of concentration and death camp survivor testimony. These reports had slowly started to filter into the mainstream media, especially as the Red Army made its advances into Poland and Eastern Germany, where many of these camps were located. U.S. troops who had either seen the first-hand evidence or witnessed the footage were incensed at the atrocities and vowed to punish those responsible. Another contributing factor to the take-no-prisoner attitude in March and April of 1945 was the fact that, in the American point of view, the war was over, and those still fighting were the most guilty of war crimes who were seeking to avoid punishment. Therefore, if they encountered any sort of resistance, especially in the face of their inevitable defeat, it was assumed that those resisting must be SS or guilty of some sort of crime who would rather just die in battle than face justice. Though many SS troopers and similar guilty parties did just that, there were in fact large numbers of regular German troops in the field who did resist only because of the lies fed to them by their government. It was this tenacious resistance in the waning weeks of World War II in Europe that would be their downfall. Atrocities committed by individuals were commonplace. Famed historian Stephen Ambrose claimed of the 1,000 veterans he interviewed, one-third said they saw executions take place. These countless murders were divided in large-scale shootings in places like Hausen and Trecevo. During the battle for Dunkelhausen on April 15, 1945, the 254th this was a combined action by the regular German army and the Waffen-SS. The army soldiers were eager to surrender, as reported by the local townspeople. However, it seems as though because of heavy casualties inflicted by the SS, the surrendering soldiers were treated just the same. One of the most notable instances in the massacre, 13 German soldiers who had dug a trench behind a barn surrendered as soon as they saw the Americans. However, the other soldiers coming out of the back of the back of their neck while on their knees. Yet another villager witnessed an American soldier gunned down and killed 100 SS men. Until they run away from them, several other witnesses told her that they were worried to take a mass grave for victims, which numbered around 30. In the town of Trecevo on April 19, 1945, similar to the 18th infantry regiment to the 1st with around 60 Americans killed, including the battalion commander. The American planes were shot by a sniper wearing civilian clothes. As a result, the Americans were incensed. They were surprised to have it by the American. Well, one of the boys managed to run away and the American flag. The boys actually and in each boy had been shot. These three crimes are just a highlight of the population U.S. military was not very interested in investigating, much less prosecuting war crimes either during or after economic combat. Most of the records and testimony actually come from sources outside the U.S., like the German Army War Crimes Bureau, that investigated reports of crimes against Germans by the Allies. Unfortunately, there are uncounted stories of war crimes committed by U.S. forces that never see the light of day, but who further stolen necessary lists on the record straight that not all Americans who served in World War II did so with honor. In the early 1940s, the Nazis controlled Paris, but even then they were terrified of the great Communion, whose body count might be as high as 100 people. The cops warned them. The Nazis but this highly educated psychopath wasn't so easy to manage. This is the story of a man who came known as Dr. Satan, and it's arguably one of the most messed up tales we've ever told. Let's start at the beginning. 1940 was a bad time for most Parisians. Before those German tanks made their way into the city, around 2 million residents of Paris had already moved out. For those left behind, and who understood the perils of Nazism, it was a depressing time. Their bones chilled as they watched the swastika flag fly above the Arc de Triomphe. Some of these were people who'd be spied on by the Gestapo, and worse, interrogated and possibly killed. It was a time of great fear and paranoia. The last thing anyone needed was a serial killer to add to their woes. A man that left decapitated heads and other body parts for the cops to find. Nonetheless, Dr. Satan was a hero to many, albeit folks were continually fooled by him. As for the Nazis, it would be reasonable to say that the evil doctor was always one step ahead of them. His real name was Marcel Etienne. How he ever became a doctor boggles the mind, which is someone we'll think agree with after you hear about his strange life from childhood. development to adulthood. He was born in the French city of Auxerre on January 17, 1897, and he was a delinquent at a young age. At age 11, he brought his own to school and had a private world. He got involved with theft, smashed up public property, and he did terrible things to small animals. It said he also put on a kind of circus act one night at school, standing against the large door in class and throwing knives at the other students. It's not surprising that he was deemed according to the book Death in the City of Light, the serial killer of Nazi-occupied Paris ended up expelled from school a few times as a teenager, and so was evaluated by professionals, who said this kid is just not right in the head. His parents, of course, were very concerned, telling doctors that he wet the bed and had infection patterns of face. They were also been worried about his constant sleepwalking. If you were to ask an expert now, they might assume this kid is suffering with a serious head injury, and that's what caused the problem. Psychiatrist in 1914 seemed to suggest that his frontal lobes weren't working right, stating that he was an abnormal youth who didn't take responsibility for his activities. So see, nothing really changed when he became an adult. Still, he ended up at a special Paris academy, and later in 1916, when he was 19 years old, he went to fight for the French army in the trenches of World War I. What could possibly go wrong? The kid with mental health problems and proclivity for violence and desire to murder people. Physicians among the French forces said what others had said before: he didn't have serious he was already walking close to the edge of the sand. He was gassed and wounded in battle, after which he said he had complete breakdown. At first, he sent them home where he tried to look after property, but then he took up the bag and more people personally stumped in their letters and photos of loved ones. For that, he got some jail time, but after being professionally diagnosed with more than 1 year he was then diagnosed with prison. The doctor said he was not pulled over and guilty. What said about it was wrote a report that numbers from the court this neurasthenia, depression, phobia, at first, he was let go from the forces and given 100% physical education, but then after review got 100%. He was then sentenced to decide was he one day said a doctor. In 1919, he was 5 days from that institution. The war was over. Although the doctors had been seen as unhappy with straight from said he was important to his other serial killers